Blog Talk Radio.
And welcome to Taylor Phillips' Detroit Sports Show, this weekend's Red Wings edition, with your host Taylor Phillips, yours truly. The number to call to voice your opinion or be a guest or a co-host on this show is 646-478-4837, as always. Again, that's 646-478-4837, 646-478-4837. Find me on Facebook, YouTube, Google, and Pinterest as Taylor Phillips. Like my page, Taylor Phillips' Detroit Sports page, and join my group, Taylor Phillips' Detroit Sports Group, to become a more educated Detroit sports fan. And follow me on Twitter, Tumblr, and Instagram at DT2Phillips. There's also a chat window on blogtalkradio.com on all my episodes of Taylor's Detroit Sports Show for you to comment your opinions on. Guidelines: if you have called in, stay on the line. If you hang up, redial the number 646-478-4837, and then stay on the line. You'll have a total of 30 minutes to do so. This is a 30-minus-minute show. Keep it very clean. Treat the show with respect. If you don't know much about this or any of Detroit sports, you can still just listen. And only I can change topics because I'm the head host of the show. Going into the week, starting off with the weekend review, as always. The Wings did very well until tonight. Let's recap each game. The Red Wings beat the Lightning 3-2 in regulation. They beat the Bruins 3-2 in regulation, and then they beat the Sabres 3-2 in regulation. What I didn't expect. All those three winning results were unexpected, because some of the Red Wing fans thought the Wings might lose to both the Lightning and the Bruins, and we all thought the Red Wings would rout the Sabres. But which wasn't the case. The Wings went up 3-0 early in the first, but early in the game, both scored all three goals in the first period. But let Buffalo come back with one in the second and one in the third, but still hold on to win 3-2. And the Sabres were having fun in their previous week, I guess. They hung in there to fall short to the Blues 2-1. In their game before the game in Detroit at the Joe Louis Arena. At the Joe. But then things went downhill tonight. The Wings fell behind 3-0, then tied it back up, then fell behind again late in the third period to lose 5-3 to the Canadiens at I think it's the Bell Center. I'm trying to look for it. My apologies for the delay. Jonas Gustafsson allowed 5 goals. He only allowed 2 against the Lightning, but he still could have stopped all 5 goals. But it wasn't all his fault. It was the defenses, and it had nothing to do with the referees, guys. I see most of you on the official Detroit Red Wings Facebook page complain a lot about the referees, and that's 100%. And you blame it 100% on them instead of the players and the goaltender, instead of the defense and the goaltender, and that makes no sense at all. Just the typical Red Wing fan base right there. All I ask for you is just start making sense. I'm not trying to insult any of you guys. I'm nicer than that. If you blame a loss completely on the referees and the linesmen, then you're not even watching the entire game. Clearly. That's what I do. You just got to pay more attention. Luke Glendening, by the way, finally scored his first NHL goal tonight. Cut the 3-0 lead to 3-2 early in the third. Datsuk got a power play goal. So did Cronwall. Glendening's goal was at even strength. The scoring judges gave the fourth Montreal goal to Galchenyuk. That was his 13th of the year. The puck deflected off his leg and in off a shot by Thomas Plekanec. Or Plekanec, however you spell that. With that win, and the Dallas Stars lost to the Tampa Bay Lightning 5-2 in Tampa, the Canadiens now have a 4-point lead on the Lightning for second place in the Atlantic Division. It's too bad for them they can't clinch the Atlantic Division because the Boston Bruins already have, although they had a rough week, losing to the Wings on Wednesday and then losing in overtime in Toronto. Still got a point there. But anyway, tonight's game, like I was going to say, unacceptable and in all areas, except for the offense in the third period early, until they just blew a tire or something. But looking at the standings, despite tonight's defeat, the Red Wings are still in a very good position. 3 points ahead of the Blue Jackets, 88-85 for the first wild card spot over Columbus. The New Jersey Devils have 84, and so do the Leafs. The Devils beat the Hurricanes 3-1. Leafs lost again to the Winnipeg Jets in Toronto 4-2. The Ottawa Senators edged the Rangers 3-2 to edge a little closer to the Hurricanes. The Sens have 78 and the Hurricanes have 79. Might be too little too late with the Hurricanes having 4 games left and the Senators with 5 remaining on their schedule. The Red Wings technically are very close to securing their 23rd consecutive playoff berth. All they need is 2 points to do so. It doesn't matter if they lose in overtime twice in 2 games. And if they win at least one, that's even better. It's still 2 points, but you don't want to waste any time. It's not that hard. Only a team that would really, really, really suck would lose all the rest of their games and miss out on the playoffs. I think the Red Wings are not that kind of team, but we'll have to see if if they actually do manage to do that. It's devastating and a disgrace. So my question to you tonight: will the Wings pick up their last 2 points before the season ends? Call me at 646-478-4837. That number again is 646-478-4837. Let's take a look at the week ahead. Tuesday, the Wings are in Buffalo to take on the Sabres at 7 on Fox Sports Detroit. Those two meet for the very last time of the season. And then the Red Wings trying to sweep the season series with the Pittsburgh Penguins at 8 on NBCSN. And I warn the fans not to blame the referees 100% if the Red Wings lose to the Penguins in any way, shape, or form. Otherwise, I'm going to come down on them, and you know what. But not like too harshly, but still, I'm just letting you know that you're being too silly if you're blaming the referee 100% on a loss, on any kind of loss. Then on Friday, the Red Wings return home for the last home game of the season against the Hurricanes at 7:30 on Fox Sports Detroit Plus. Then on Sunday, April 13th, which is on my birthday, the Red Wings wrap up their season against the St. Louis Blues at Scottrade Center on NBC at 12:30. The Penguins already clinched their division. The Bruins already clinched the entire Eastern Conference. But it's still a battle as to which team they want to play, which team wants to play who. The Montreal Canadiens have 95 points, and the Rangers have 91. The Penguins have 103. The Bruins have 113. The Penguins will, as of today, the Penguins will play the Red Wings, and this upcoming Wednesday's game could be a preview of just that. If the Wings hold on to their first wild card spot. I mean, it could be a grudge match, but it's a playoff series of revenge for the Red Wings. We all remember back in 2009, in 2008 and 2009, the Wings won the first of two Cup Finals series, and the Penguins won the other. I think it's time for the Red Wings to get their revenge, and thusly move on to the second round. So, do you think the Wings will play the Penguins? If not, who do you think they'll play? Give me a call at 646-478-4837. Again, that number is 646-478-4837. That's That's also if you want to call in as a guest to join in on the conversation, to join the show. Excuse me a second. Water caught my throat. That about covers it for the Wings. Now to other Detroit sports updates. The Tigers almost blew a 7-1 lead today, but just barely held on to beat the Baltimore Orioles 7-6 at Comerica Park to stay undefeated at 4-0. The Orioles put up a 5 spot in the 9th inning, and Torrey Hunter earlier recorded 5 RBIs, including a 2-run homer and a 3-run double. Don Kelly and Rajai Davis each knocked in it in a run with a hit. They're both rolling. Although I'm speaking too soon on Don Kelly, he's pretty good too. So is Rajai Davis. Davis hit a 3-run homer yesterday. He was only getting warmed up. I could have told you all that Davis would unleash his bat. Same for Gonzalez, who went 2 for 4 on opening day with an RBI triple and the walk-off single against the Kansas City Royals to cap off a 4-3 win there in the 9th inning. I was saying earlier this week, he's the new thing. Ian Kinsler was the hero twice, drove in both runs in the second. But I'll explain more about the Tigers tomorrow at midnight on the Tigers edition of Taylor's Detroit Sports Show. The Pistons upset the Celtics 115-111 at the Palace. Good for them. It was a bit of a close game most of the way. Tonight for the Pistons, it was not a sign of tanking. They finished with an 8-0 run after Brandon Jennings returned to the floor for Peyton Siva with 2:51 remaining in the game. I don't see the totals yet. Andre Drummond, but I do see that Andre Drummond had 7 offensive rebounds, giving him 402 for the year, making him the most prolific single-season offensive rebounder of the 21st century. Wow, that's great, Andre Drummond. Pistons, the other meeting in Boston. One of the other meetings in Boston came back from 21 down to beat them 107-106. That was on December 18th, 2013. The Pistons tonight came back from 19 down to win 115-111 at the Palace. So everybody won except for the Red Wings. But the Wings, anyway, are getting closer to clinching their 23rd consecutive playoff berth. All they need is 2 points. They're still in a good position, but I suggest that they waste no time getting those 2 points now, considering how easy that is. That loss tonight snapped the Red Wings' 4-game winning streak, which matched their longest of the season, and prevented them from winning 5 straight for the first time in more than 2 years. Riley Shahan almost got injured when he was slashed hard by one of the Canadian players, but he got back in the game real shortly. The injury report, I almost forgot about that. Bertuzzi was a healthy scratch, so he's not injured. So it's down to 5 now. Joachim Andersen, well, actually it's down to 4. Joachim Andersen was also a healthy scratch since Datsuk and Alfredsson both returned. So it's down to 4 since Datsuk and Alfredsson both returned. Datsuk scored his first goal of the game. First goal in his return from his knee injury. And that was on the power play. Stephen Weiss will likely miss the remainder of the entire 2013-14 season with a groin injury and multiple setbacks. I don't know if the Wings will let him go. I don't know if his contract is up this year or next year. Somebody better tell me, because I'm going to ask that question right now. Henrik Zetterberg is aiming to return. Like I told you, Henrik Zetterberg is not officially out for the rest of the entire season. Some of you guys already assumed that. Suckers. Man. And Jonathan Ericsson is still out with his broken finger, as we know it. He was scheduled to be out 4 to 6 weeks. After getting his finger broken in the 5-4 loss to the Canadians at the Joe 2 to 3 weeks ago. I think, or maybe it was earlier than that. Cap it off, Daniel Cleary with a knee injury. He might not return, as far as I'm concerned, because I'm not getting any word on Dan Cleary whatsoever. That wraps up our injury report, and that wraps up the entire Red Wings edition of Taylor's Detroit Sports Show. Coming up tomorrow night at midnight, my first Tigers edition of the 2014 regular season. We'll recap the Tigers' undefeated week, if it sticks, if the Tigers win tomorrow. They play against the Orioles at 108. I actually have my Lake City sweater on. See that? It's not really a Red Wings sweater. Although you wish it could have been, anyway. Some of you. But until then, Taylor Phillips saying TTFN, ta-ta for now.